Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to build the 6X Alpha 1 routine at the gym and also at home workouts using the Strong app. Now, if you haven't already downloaded the Strong app, I highly recommend you do so now. Pause the video, download the app, and then follow along. Now, quickly orient yourself around the app. Once you've created your account, you've got on the lower left column, you've got the profile, you've got your history, start workout, exercises, measure. For now, let's just go to start workout. Remember, you're going to create these routines before you start your first workout. So you're actually going to use these routines to guide you in your first workout. Now, you can create folders of different routines. So you see the routine icon right next to it, this little folder icon. Click on it and then create your folders there. You can basically say gym routine like that. Now I've already done that. You can just press save and then you've got your gym routines. Now click on new routine and then say gym routines and say next. Okay, then we're going to call this 10x. It's good to have a naming system so that, oh my gosh, here we go, 6X Alpha 1, and then gym. Okay, so now we're going to go and add our first exercise. So the first exercise is going to be leg press. So use the seated leg press machine as your machine of choice. Say add, and then you go. And what you'll notice is whenever you build a new routine, it will actually pull in data from your previous routine, just like it just did here now. But I'm just going to delete this note there, show you how to do that. Let's just basically delete that for now and say let's add the next exercise. Next exercise is going to be lat pull down. And I prefer the cable lat pull down, not the machine. So try to use exactly the machines or the exercise apparatus that I'm selecting here, with a few exceptions that I'll show you later. So there you go, that's your lat pull down. Now, very important thing to note here is that I'm going to add more than just the 6 exercises that comprise our 6X Alpha routine. And I'm going to show you why. The reason I'm going to add a pull-up exercise is because whenever the lat pull-down machine is occupied in the gym, then you can opt for a pull-up machine. So there's a pull-up assisted machine in most gyms. And so, again, you can just say band or pull-up without any assistance, just a normal bodyweight pull-up, depending on your level. I'm suspecting you're either at a novice or beginner level, so you can say assisted. So there are pull-up assisted machines that you can use, and so add that. And the reason you're not actually going to do lat pull down and then pull up, you have it there in case your lat pull down is occupied in the gym. All right, now let's move on to the next one. Then after your lat pull down or pull up, you're going to do your chest press. Again, you're going to do chest press machine, select and say add. Okay, next. Now, similarly, we're going to add the dip. So the body weight chest dip. You can also do assisted or you can do chest dip. I'll do chest dip just as an example. And then you go. Oh, where is it? Let's just do that again. Chest dip. There we go. Add. And then you have it. So now we have seated leg press, lat pull down, pull up, chest press, and the chest dip. Next, we have the row. And again here, you would like, okay, so put in seated row and use the cable instead of the machine. If you can find a cable, seated row, opt for that one instead of the machine row. Say add, and there you go. So last but not least, then we have shoulder press. And guys, try to do it exactly in this order. And again, you're gonna have a machine and add, and there's all your exercises in a row. Now, I'm gonna quickly show you an example of how I would track this in a real world workout, right? So let's just press save, okay? So I'm gonna save this routine, and there you have it. So it's in the first one here, as you can see. Let's click on it, and then let's actually say start workout. I want to show you an example of how you'd go about tracking this, and also gives you some insight into how you would perform the routine itself. Say start workout. Now, as you go through the workout, and you can actually watch a video of me doing this, but let's say I did 160 kg there, I failed at 12, I select go. Go to the next exercise. Ooh, I get to the lat pull down and I see that it's occupied. So do I wait or do I go to the next exercise? Well, I'm going to go to the next exercise. I'm just going to go and do pull-ups. I'm not going to do weighted. So I'm going to do 12 reps. Let's say I fail there as well. And then say go to the chest press. And it's open, not occupied. So I'll do chest press. I usually go on 70. And let's say I fail at 12. And guys, these are actually my real numbers too, where I would usually fail at 12, always going for 13. Okay, and then I skip chest up, right? Because I just did chest press. And then I do seated row, 60, 12, and then shoulder press. I would do, I skipped something very important. That was the whole point of showing you guys this. Okay, so check this out, right? So let's say you do seated leg press. Lat pull down's busy, occupied. You go to pull up, then you do chest press. But then remember, you're not going to do your seated row next. You're actually going to go do your seated leg press again. Now, instead of adding seated leg press twice as an exercise, okay, you're going to add another set here. And you're going to go on the same weight, and you're going to go for 12. Now, notice this. You won't actually make 12 in one go. You will be quite fatigued at this point. So what's going to happen is you'll probably fail around 9. Okay. Now, put in 9. Then you're going to do rest pause technique, relax, for about 15 seconds, and then add another set. So technically these aren't 3 sets, you're just inserting the values, so you know how you broke them up. You didn't do them in one go, and let's say you didn't do 3 there. So that you have 12 in the first set minimum, and then 12 in the next set minimum. 24 reps per, for leg press only though, because you're not repeating the other exercises, okay? And then let's say you're moving on. Then you go to do your seated row, and then you're doing your shoulder press. Now I'm going to show you another example. This happens to me all the time. So let's say you're doing your shoulder press, you put 30, and let's say you fail at 10 for some reason. You say 10, okay, you take 15 seconds break, get ready for your last 2 reps. You're always doing at least 12, and you do 30 again, and you say 2. Boom. And you are done. Say finish workout. Now, it's going to ask you to update values only or update the routine and values as well. So select the first option, update values only. If you select update routine and values, it's going to change your entire routine that you've just built, okay? So just say update values only, and then there you have it. So there is your history. Okay, and that's how you do the 6X Alpha 1 gym routine. Now, let's quickly go and build the 6X Alpha home routine. Okay, so similar thing. I'm going to say add new routine. In fact, this is a good example where I show you how to copy and paste. So let's take these 10X 6X Alpha 1 gym. Let's just say duplicate. Okay, where is that? Okay, so it's there. It says the first one there, 6X Alpha 1 gym copy. Let's go and edit it. Edit the routine. And that's the first one we're going to go and edit. And let's say home. And then now we go and replace the exercises. So you can see more or less how this works. Okay. So by the way, just select an exercise, hold it, and then you can actually move it around like that. Okay, so I'm going to show you that again. So just move the exercises as you see fit. But remember, there's a very particular order to all of this. Okay, so we're not doing leg press at home. We're going to do squat. Let's say replace. Let's go and squat. Now look for the right squat. Squat with dumbbells, squat machine. Now it's not going to have the exact wall ball squat that we're teaching you guys, but look at all these different options that it will give you. So I've created a custom exercise and I wanted to show you that you could do that. Just say wall ball squat. So for example, if an exercise is not there, you can create it from scratch or use the closest one. Okay, so let's say wall ball squat, add, let's say replace, good. And then lat pull down, not going to do that at home. So let's say replace exercise. Actually, we already have the pull up, right? So we can delete this exercise. Okay, there we go. So we've got the pull up, which is exactly in the right order. We're not going to do chest press, so let's just delete that. Then we have chest dip, but we want to do push up first. Chest dip is going to be a useful bodyweight exercise that we do at home, but let's opt for chest for push up first. Okay, so I'm not going to do shoulder press. Actually, let's just add an exercise and then I'll show you how we remove it. So let's do push up. Okay, so again, depending on your level, you should more or less know where you're at. If not, then you can guess and we can always edit the exercise later. So for example, just to be safe, if you're a female, go push up on the knees. Or if you feel, if you're not confident in your strength, just go push up on the knees. Otherwise, just go normal push up, say select add like I will do there. And then I'll click on it and I'll actually move it up. So let's say we've got wall ball, pull up, and then push up. Okay, awesome. Now the next exercise, same thing. Wall ball squat will be the fourth exercise. I'll actually repeat that. You could also do a lunge. You could do a straight leg deadlift. Now, for me, I really prefer just doing squat twice in every one of my workouts. But give that a try, and then again, feel free to alternate them according to our structure any way you like. Okay, so then we don't have a row, but we have, let's say, the ring row. So let's say replace exercise. Let's say row, and let's go look for the appropriate one. Now we're going to do a body weight row in this case. So that I create a custom one as well. Incline row, inverted row, so ring row. You can also have a row with a band, many different options. There we go, inverted row. That's actually the row I should have selected instead of creating ring row. But let's use inverted row, body weight, perfect. Okay, and then we're not going to do shoulder press, but what we could do here is I could take the chest dip and put it at the bottom as the last exercise. And I can delete this exercise. And then I have squat, pull up, push up, and then I'm going to do squat again, then I do inverted row, and then I do my chest dip. Now let's just add shoulder press. Now let's do press. Let's see if they've got a dumbbell press. It's good to just keep it there. Overhead press dumbbell, perfect. Select it, add it, and there you go. Now you won't necessarily use this, okay? But again, you can then choose between dip or overhead press as your last exercise. Okay, so go ahead and click save. Let's just make sure you've got all the exercises. Click it there. You've got squat, pull up, push up. We've got inverted row, chest dip, overhead press, and we're good. Press save, and there you have it. That's your 6X Alpha 1 routine done at home. Now, let me quickly show you how you would go about tracking that as another example. So let's click on it and let's say start workout. Again, to actually see how I implement this as a workout, watch the learning and tracking video of me doing the workout. So with wall ball squat, okay, I'm going to just say 30 kgs. So this would mean 15 kgs, 15 kg dumbbells, and let's say I fail at 12. Boom. I go to the next exercise. I do a pull-up exercise, and let's say I also fail at 12. Then I would do push-ups. Let's say I fail at 14, which I usually do. Now remember, once you're done with your push-up, then you start again. I'm going to go and add a second wall ball squat set. So 30, and then maybe I fail at 10, and I add another one. I take a few seconds break, about 10 to 15 seconds, and add 2, so I always have at least 12 reps per set for every exercise. And then I go to inverted row, and let's say I hit failure at 9 there, and we'll do another set and do 3 to get to 12. Then I go to chest dip, and here it's at this point I can decide, am I going to do chest dip or am I going to do overhead press? Now it's very important to remember that on the outset, when we design your program, so let's say for example you're doing this workout twice a week, let's say on a Monday and a Thursday, I highly recommend that if you're at home, you do, for example, the overhead press. Let's say you can do the overhead press on Mondays, and every Thursday you do chest dip instead of overhead press. So you're alternating these last two exercises. Okay, so let's say you did let's say 30 kgs, and we did 12 reps, hit failure, and we're done. Okay, that's just pulling in previous data. And I leave chest dip empty because again, I'm not doing chest dip because I opted for overhead press. Okay, everything looks good. You say finish your workout, and then again, you say update values only, don't update routine and values. Boom. And there you go. So now, go to your history, and there's your workout. So if you want to review a history, you want to edit your workout, simply select the workout, see if everything is consistent, if it looks good. If it is, leave it so. If not, you can go and make an edit. For example, I can go and edit and say, okay, cool, well, this was supposed to be 40 or it's supposed to be 30, doesn't matter. But you can go and edit your workouts. Press save, and you're done. You can also go and delete a routine if you're not happy with it, or if you're just playing around. And like this, let me show you, press delete routine, and you're done. And that's how you build your 6X Alpha 1 routines, both at the gym and at home, and how you'd go about tracking them. See you guys in the next video.